Good afternoon. Beautiful sunny Sunday. We have clear weather on the East Coast after we had a couple days of rain. I'm not a big fan of the rain, but right now we have really clear blue skies. You can see forever. The visibility is great. The ceiling is really high. There are no clouds in sight, just a few little scattered ones that are of no consequence. Anyhow, thank you for tuning in. Of course, this is James MacArthur coming to you. I wanted to expand on some stuff I tweeted about this morning. I spoke about work, about the value of work, hard work, about getting places, achieving things, doing something with your life, going to another level, and how no one is going to hand you the life that you really want to live. But if you want it, you have to go out there and get it. You have to work for it. The word work keeps coming up. Even in the Bible, it says faith without work is dead. You have to believe in what you're doing, yes, but all the belief in the world won't do a darn thing if you're not willing to put in the work. Now, I took it further and I went to the workplace and I said there's an attitude that I see a lot where people say something to the equivalent of, well, I would work harder if they would pay me more. And I made it clear that that is a wrong attitude. It is a backwards approach. If you worked harder, they might pay you more. Now, of course, there are exceptions. There is no such thing as an absolute. We know that there are exploitive employers and such. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about in general. When you agree to a job, you've taken on a job, you've been hired, you decided to show up, you have to give it your all, period. If you think the situation is not equanimous, you're not getting what you're worth, then go out and find another one. But if you're there, if you're showing up to work, show up and do the work. Don't halfway do the work. You're not doing anyone a favor. You're cheating out your employer. If you agree to however much you agreed to, then go to work and give it your all. That's what I'm talking about. Of course, there are exceptions, and we can't cover everything in a tweet or a podcast or recording like this. But that it's a general principle that needs to be adhered to. If you're in the workplace and you hope to make it, you hope to be successful, you hope to be somewhere further along the road than where you began. Even if it's at another job, even if you have to leave because you don't like the way things are, but you leave with good recommendation when they call to ask, well, what kind of worker was Joe? What kind of worker was Sally? What did she do? And this counts for entry level, menial, blue collar, or white collar. It doesn't matter. If you are, not doing all that you can on your job to every day, all the time, then don't expect things to get better. Don't expect to be promoted. Don't expect to be given more. It just doesn't happen that way. We've all heard, or many of you have heard, the example of the man who sits down in front of the fireplace and says, give me some heat, and then I will put some wood inside you. Well, does that make any sense? No. You have to put the wood in first, and then the fireplace will give you some heat. But a lot of times, you have folks who will go to work, and that's the concept they're working under. It just doesn't work that way. It's a false paradigm. It's a false assumption. It just won't go. Well, I would do it if they did that. No, they're never going to do that. The people who will get ahead, who will be boosted and propelled ahead, and who will get promotion sooner than expected are the ones who are going in there and busting their humps. Now, I'm not saying, listen, nothing is guaranteed. I'm not saying that automatically as soon as you start working harder, someone will recognize you and promote you. But if you don't work harder, no one ever will recognize your hard work because it's not there, and no one ever will promote you. So you have to have one before you have the other. It's that simple. These are universal laws. I did not create them. It took me most of my life to really discover them and the immutable truth of it all. But you go contrary to them. You live your life not in alignment with them, and you will probably, chances are, not like the results that you're getting. And you're going to be beating your head against a wall, wondering why you can't get to where it is you would like to get. I'm telling you, this is not mumbo jumbo. This is not psychobabble. This is real talk. So I don't care what your job is. I don't care if you're the fry cook at McDonald's, or you're the guy who's rounding up the carts or whatever. You go to work and you give it your all. If you can't do that, if you're not willing to do that, if you don't think the job is worth that, then move aside and let someone else take that job who might value it more than you, and you go get some other job that you think you're willing and able to put your all into. It's that simple. You got to give it all you got. And that's all I got for now. So thank you for tuning in. I hope this signal stayed clear the whole time. You guys know what I'm doing right now. So, sometimes the signal is choppy. We don't always have a clear signal. But hopefully this message, as I always say, reached one person and shed some light and enlightenment for just one person. If that is the case, I will feel as if I have done my job today. This isn't for everyone. A lot of you, this message will not apply to. So, if it don't apply, let it fly. That's all there is to it. Thank you for listening, everyone. James MacArthur asking you, as I always do, what's up, Baltimore? I'm out.